Go.
Welcome to Not a Great Whisperer Podcast. I'm your host, Katie Ray. We are at the BKN Creative Studio in Ybor today, and I am joined by one of my favorite people I met in college, Kelsey. Welcome.
Oh, stop. Hi.
She is absolutely amazing. She's always doing tons of stuff, and I just kind of wanted to dig into her being a boss babe, a wife, living her best life. She was a USF cheerleader when I was there. I was not a USF cheerleader. I know some people might think so. We met watching USF baseball, go Bulls. But the rest is history. We stayed in touch ever since then, and just want her to kind of dig into what she's doing now and give some motivation to some ladies and men out there who are living their best lives. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, Kelsey.
Yeah. So I'm doing just a little bit of everything, really. I always like having a busy schedule. I think that's really where I thrive. I grew up a gymnast, so having free time is just not something I'm used to having. And I tend to get stressed out when I do. So I'm just doing a lot of different things. I like to be creative. I mean, you only live once, so why not try everything just once, you know?
Yeah, I love it. And you have your own business, you're coaching, you're also working in the sales industry, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now I'm juggling probably around, I think last I counted like 6 different jobs. I know.
Okay.
Sounds crazy, I know. But again, I just like trying a bunch of different things. So yes, I'm coaching. I coach for the University of Tampa Cheerleaders. Last season was my first season, and it was really fun to get back into the cheerleading scene. As you said, I cheered for the University of South Florida for 3 seasons there. From there, I went on to cheer professionally for both the Lightning and the Buccaneers organizations. So just performing is something I love doing. I also dance and perform for one of the local theme parks here in the area, doing that seasonally on and off just to kind of get my entertainment.
I love that you're doing that
stuff.
still. I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I started in 2009, I think, dancing over there. And it's just been so much fun. It's kind of that creative outlet there for me. It's not so much a job as it is just having fun and really entertaining people and getting to know new people.
I love that. And you're doing your own business right now too.
Yep. So I started my own business, probably about 3 years ago now, which is crazy to think about. Little backstory. After college, I started working in PR and advertising for corporate America at different agencies around. And I think that's kind of not really a misconception, but it's something that people, when they graduate college, you think like, this is my field, this is what I have to do. And you're kind of stuck there. And I loved it at first. I loved having the big girl job and wearing the pencil skirts. And, like that's something you want to do and really feel successful. And I loved it. And then 7 years in, I think the industry had this huge change just with social media and different things there. And I kind of lost my passion in it and didn't feel really challenged with it anymore. And just didn't feel like it was something that I had a strong passion for. Kind of took a break. My fiance at the time, really gave me the motivation and the encouragement to take that break. I think I just became a toxic environment for me, and it really affected who I was as a person. I'm normally this very happy, energetic person, and I just kind of became dull in a way, if you could say. And he told me one day, very blunt and honest, and was like, you've just changed into a different person. You're not happy anymore. And I don't think this is the industry for you. And so I kind of took the time, did some soul searching. I had no backup plan and just decided now's the time to figure it out. So I quit. I started dancing again and just really focusing on things I love doing.
Love it.
And I think that's where I started to find myself again. I I started dancing. I went to esthetician school, started getting into skincare and beauty, which is something that I love doing, and found my passion again. And from there, it just kind of grew. I opened up my own business called Neverland Tampa. I specialize in eyelash extensions, and I'm just having so much fun. It gives me the flexibility to manage my own schedule. Don't get me wrong. It's super, super hard. As you know, I have all these different jobs because some days are great. And then other days I'm like, shoot, I need a job. Like, this is hard. So,
and I would say shit in that, but she's my friend who doesn't curse. But yes, so I love that you were doing eyelashes because of course I went to. And I love that you just knew to take a step back when you were losing yourself in a corporate job. Not everybody's like that. I mean, sometimes a corporate job is what people need, but you knew that you weren't able to really be who you were really destined to be, and just talking to people and getting out there and helping people in their beauty because you're beautiful, so you help others. I think that's amazing. And that shows a lot. You were 7 years into the PR, right?
Yeah, 7 years. I was in a senior management position. I was doing really well, but to me, it's what's the point in having a job that you don't love? And I found myself hopping from, agency to agency, trying to find the agency that fit me. If you can say, I was kind of putting the blame on, not necessarily that this isn't my passion anymore, but that I'm just not with the right company, or I'm not with the right clients that are giving me that creative potential there. And I remember I went to one interview and I was talking to this lady just about my life and where I've been and different things from the advertising and PR world that I've done. And I remember she bluntly asked me, she goes, "Do you want to own your own business?" And I kind of took a step back and I was like, where did that even come from? And it just made me think, if this stranger that knew me, talked to me for 5 minutes, could see that in me, like, why couldn't I see that for myself? I think that was really another point in my life where I took a step back and was like, maybe this is where I should go. Maybe this is why I haven't found my creative outlet yet.
I love that you're coaching cheerleaders again too. Do you feel like in college you thought cheerleading was end all be all, you were going to be doing performing somehow when you're in college?
No, not really. I've been performing ever since I could walk, really. As I danced up until I was about 10 years old. From dance, I went into gymnastics. From gymnastics, I went into college cheer. And then I took a year off after college cheer. I think a lot of people think once you're done with college cheer or college sports and you don't make it in the professional league that you're done there. And that's your retirement. That's the end of your career. And I just really missed it. So I started taking dance classes. I'm not a dancer. Professional cheerleading is very dance-centered. And I just fell in love with dancing and decided, hey, I'm going to try and cheer professionally and dance professionally. And eventually, it took me a few years, but eventually I got my first booking in pro cheer and fell in love with it and loved it. Did that for 4 years. And after that, started dancing for theme parks and staying in the industry. I think it's just something that I love doing. And especially for someone that's not a dancer, I think it's really important for people to realize that just because you're getting older doesn't necessarily mean that you stop dreaming or stop reaching for different goals or different potential, because there's never an end there. You can always learn something new. You can always do something different. Age is nothing but a number. And just because you're older doesn't mean that your dreams end at that point. Yeah. So, and that's what I really try to tell my cheerleaders too. I think it's really nice getting back in the college scene and
going to parties.
Not the parties. I was such a partier in college.
No, you
Katie,
weren't. That's what makes it great that we were friends. You were probably like, who's this crazy bee next to me?
No.
Being crazy. That's what I love about you too. You stay true to your core. I love it, especially when I'm saying shit and all the time around you. And you're like, I'm just not going to say that dirty word.
Oh, goodness.
I think I love that you're coaching. I love that I saw that you were coaching again. And you're working at another job now too, right?
Yeah. So
that's a huge schedule, Kelsey. I'm overwhelmed over here.
I know. Not sometimes, I do get a little overwhelmed. But I think it's really that time management aspect that really goes into it. I mean, right now with coaching, we're in summer season. Yeah. Mostly all my cheerleaders are from out-of-state students, which is really cool to get their perspective. Most of them are from up north. Mm-hmm. So they're raised a little bit differently than how I was raised in Florida. So kind of seeing their dedication and how they do things, it's a learning perspective for me on how to coach them, which has been really challenging in my first season, but also really rewarding towards the end of the year when, you know, I see that they've become best friends with each other. And I was kind of a leader in that role there. It's really fun to see and get to know them and see them breaking out of their shells, especially the freshmen that come in very shy. They're, you know, just kind of go in their own little corner. They don't really open up. And then seeing them come to spring tryouts this year and grab another freshman, introduce themselves, and be very professional in that aspect is great. I also do a lot of community appearances with them, and seeing them not scared to go up to, you know, the mayor and say, "Hi, how are you? My name is so-and-so. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being at this event." You know, these are 18, 19-year-old girls, and seeing them grow in their professional attitude and appearance is really humbling to see. And
I think having a person of influence like you as their coach is really, really good. And people at that, I mean, kids at that age, any kids, women or males, need that. Like, you need that person to look up to know they've done it, they've been there. And what do you have one of your like favorite moments as a cheerleader, either at college level or professional level, and one of your most embarrassing moments as a cheerleader?
Ooh, I have so many embarrassing moments. Which one should I start with?
Whatever one you want.
Okay. So probably one of my favorite moments as a cheerleader, I was cheering for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we have what they call like heroes of the game. And it was this little girl. She was about 8 years old, and she had brain cancer. She was with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and one of her Make-A-Wish was to come to a Lightning game. So we had her there. She got to meet with us, the cheerleaders. She got to meet with the players. She got to go out on the ice and drop the puck, different things there. And her attitude was so inspiring. She had the biggest smile on her face. You would never know that she had been through so much in her life at just 8 years old. She was a cheerleader as well. So now, being a coach for the University of Tampa, we are able to invite her to our junior clinics. She's come to junior clinics when I was with the Lightning. She came to junior clinics when I was with the Buccaneers. She's come to junior clinics with UT, and just having that relationship built with her has been so rewarding. Inspiring. Yeah, it's been a really, really great experience to know that, yeah, you're quote, quote, just a cheerleader, but you can do so much more with the role and really have a lasting impact. I mean, if you can make one person's day, especially someone going through something like that, it makes it all worth it. So that would have to be my favorite moment.
I love that. That's awesome that she's still in contact with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so after that amazing story, now to your embarrassing moments. Plural. Okay.
There have been many. So I'll say two. One was just a short one. When it was my first game professionally cheering, I was with the Lightning organization again, and we do kind of an opening number, an opening dance before doors open. And so for the men that are listening here, yes, cheerleaders, we do certain things to enhance our look, whether it's like hair extensions, spray tan, makeup, eyelashes, whatever it is. Like, you know, we do different things here. So it was my first game, and I had little breast inserts in to enhance my appearance, right? And I'm dancing. I'm having a great old time. I'm giving it 110% full out. I am loving it. And all of a sudden I feel something like on my rib. And I reach over with my pom-pom and my breast insert has fallen out of my uniform. And I just grab it with my palm, put it in my hand, and pretend like nothing has ever happened. So that was one. That was one time.
So you had your boob in your hand.
Yeah. And then I was like very disproportionate because like one side of me, I was like completely flat. And then the other side, I had like something going on. So that was interesting. Good times, good times. Good first game. I never wore them again.
Of course not.
Never again did I wear them. Lesson learned. Another time was, so we do like in-game promotions. And what's really fun about being in the field is sometimes you can get like your brothers, your boyfriends, your family to come out on the ice and do these in-game promotions, which is really fun. So we were doing an in-game promotion and I had gotten my boyfriend at the time, now husband, to come out on the ice for the promotion. And what they did was they were supposed to blindfold him and he was supposed to quote, quote, find the cheerleader. So I was out hiding on the ice and the crowd was supposed to yell hot or cold as he's like walking towards me, you know, whatever.
Walking on the ice?
Yes, on the ice. Yep. And so my coach had told me to not bring my palms out because then he could hear me and to hide inside the net. She's like, go in the net, like duck in there. Like he's never going to find you. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I walk out, I have no palms. I duck in the net. And then the PA on the mic says, okay, Rich, now go find Thunderbug. I'm not Thunderbug. I'm a cheerleader squatted in a hockey net with no palms. And now he's all of a sudden finding the mascot.
I'm not Thunderbug.
Yeah. And I was like, wrong script. I don't know what's happening, but I'm inside of a net in front of like how many thousands of people. So what do? I just start like patting the ice like I'm fixing something because that's my job, you know?
Yep.
No, not my job at all. So I'm like patting the ice, pretending like I was there for a reason. And then I get up and I just start walking over to the mascot and
they messed up the whole game.
Oh.
And you were just in a net.
I was in a net. I was just stuck in a net.
At least you didn't get, kind of stuck though. I mean, you got out.
It was great. And then I walk out and my manager is just like crying, laughing. I was like, good times. So
you had a boob on your rib. And you're stuck in a net. I think it's a solid.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Those are good times.
I'm sure there are many other embarrassing moments.
I don't doubt.
Those ones really.
I like those ones.
Yeah.
Thanks for picking those too. So let's tell us, we got to talk about your husband a little bit. Your dream, your princess wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Orlando, right?
Yep. In Orlando, Bella Collina.
Love it.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about I feel like you guys are perfect, but so different. He's very mellow, right?
No. Not
but he balances you out pretty well.
He does.
You're pretty high energy.
I am.
He hypes you up too, though.
He does. So I think why we work so well. So we actually met on a blind date. Strangely enough.
Love that.
I know. So we met on a blind date. I actually wasn't going to go. I had run the Tough Mudder the day before. So I was just like really sore and tired. And I was like, I don't really feel like going. I'm not going. And my friend like forced me to go last minute. She's like, just go. But I think what's really funny is I've always dated people that are polar opposites of me. And we are so much alike that it's actually kind of scary.
Oh.
Yes, it's really weird. Like there have been times, just small little things where he'll call me and be like, what do you feel like for dinner? And I'll say something like, oh, sushi. And he was thinking sushi too. Mm-hmm. You know, just small things. Yeah, little things like that. But we are very, very similar, which is why I think we work so well. Especially with my schedule. A lot of people don't understand my schedule. They don't know how it works. Quite frankly, we don't see each other all that much. I mean, we do, of course. I mean, he totally understands my schedule and he understands who I am as a person. And if I have free time, I get really anxious and I start overthinking in my head. So having a packed schedule is just what makes me work
And
best.
calmer.
Yeah. And he totally understands that. And it's really funny. And again, a lot of people wouldn't get it or understand it. But if we want to take a day trip to Disney on a Saturday or something, he will tell me, hey, Kelsey, let's go to Disney on Saturday. Block that off your calendar. Because he knows that something will come on my calendar. I live off my calendar. As sad as that sounds.
And weekends, because you're in the community a lot with the cheerleaders, or you're doing games or something. So or even I love that. Block that off your calendar. I think it's cute.
Yes, I do live off my calendar, and he knows I live off my calendar. So as sad as it is that I need to pencil my husband in, he gets penciled in the calendar.
You're one of the most trusting people I've ever met. So he's probably totally fine with all of penciling in.
Yes.
And you're like, I'm sorry, I had to remove our Disney day trip. Sorry, I'm busy. And he's like, all right, cool. Thanks, babe. I love that.
Yeah. And he also does take the time to, if I'm overwhelmed, I'm one of those people, I don't say no very often, which is probably like a very big flaw of mine. I think I can do everything and I have time for everything. And there's only 24 hours in a day. And sometimes I'm just a crazy person that thinks I can fit so much into one day that physically you cannot. Like, as much as you try, Kelsey, it's not feasible. So there are days when he sees that I am overexerting myself and just starting to get stressed out, and he will take it upon himself to
block out your calendar.
Yep, to block out my calendar and say, hey, we're going to Disney today, or hey, we're going to go hang out with my family this day, or do a pool day here, which I think is really great, because there are times if someone doesn't
you're spreading yourself so thin.
Right.
And he doesn't want you to do that because he knows how much you love everything you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to be a part of everything. So it's like a battle with yourself. But I like to talk you out with yourself all the time. All right, Kelsey, you can't fit this in your schedule. But I'll take it. It's 24 hours. I'm glad you fit this into your schedule for the podcast.
Of course.
What's your favorite thing you're doing? I know it's hard to say because you love everything you're doing, but what's your favorite thing to do right now? Like, what's your type of downtime? It's not really downtime for normal people, but what's your kind of getaway that's like your favorite thing to do right now? It's summer, so it's probably not coaching, but maybe during the summertime.
That's a great question. I would say anytime that I don't have a plan, if that makes sense. So if I have a random Sunday off where all of a sudden I don't have anything to do and I can just sit on the couch and watch a show and relax, or
no brain activity.
Yeah, DVR a movie, whatever, just hang out with my husband. I think those days when there's not a plan going on and we can just spend time together are my favorite days, because they do come. I mean, they happen frequently, but there are also days that
you like the surprise ones where you're not sure what's on your calendar, and then you look and you're like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I have this day off. I can just hang out with my husband.
Is he Monday through Friday?
He is,
yep. So weekends, does he try to jump on board with what you're doing if he can?
Yeah. So he's Monday through Friday. He works in marketing. So he does have a Monday through Friday job. Saturday and Sundays are open. Working in the aesthetic field, I do often work Saturdays and Sundays. I do try to block off my schedule starting at 3 p.m. so that I can have like a full evening with him. We can go to dinner and we can do certain things there. So I do try and do that. He also loves anytime we can get the family together. So like last weekend we went to Disney. I'm saying Disney a lot because we love Disney. But
and your family's in West Palm?
Yep. So my family, my parents are in Fort Myers. One of my sisters is in West Palm, and my other sister is in Orlando. So my sister that lives in Orlando just had a baby about a month ago now, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So we all went to Orlando to visit the baby and spent the weekend over there.
One of the twins?
Yep.
Cool.
One of the twins. Yep. So it's her first. Her name's Scarlett, and she's just cute as a little Bug's ear. She's so cute.
How long have you and Richard been married?
So we've been married 2 years in
2 years,
December.
okay. Time's hard. It's hard to keep
I know
track.
time is hard. And we've been together. So our wedding day is actually our dating anniversary as well.
Oh.
So we'll be together for 7 years in December.
Wow.
I know.
gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
You dated for 5, you got married. You've been married for 2, but you kept the same anniversary. Smart move.
Mm-hmm.
And how often and how annoying is it when people are like, have you started a family yet? And you're like, let me enjoy my niece.
Oh my gosh. So honestly, I feel like that question should just be banned.
Right?
I feel like
stop asking these questions.
Yes,
Let me live my life. I'm happy.
yes.
Can you ask me if I'm happy? Okay, I'm happy.
Thank you. Because it's such a gray area. Like right now, Rich and I, we are not looking for kids. We don't want kids at this moment. If it happens, it happens. We'll be great parents. We'll love it. It'll be fabulous. But right now, not in the cards for us.
Mm-hmm.
I still have so many things that I want to accomplish in my life and do. I'm still reaching for new and different goals that I want to achieve. And I'm just too much of a realist. And I know kids are freaking expensive.
And you're staying true to yourself. Like you right now, you're busy.
Right.
You know?
I am. I'm still being a little selfish, I guess you could say. I want to travel.
Totally be like that.
Yeah,
That's
I want to
totally
travel
fine.
the world and do different things. And I know kids take a lot of time, a lot of commitment, and your life changes. And I'm not sure I'm ready for that yet, as selfish as that sounds.
No, it's not selfish. I hate when people say that as a mother, even.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's amazing to just do what makes you happy, and it's whatever makes you happy. And you have a partner who you've had the talk with. It's not like you're telling him, yeah, let's have babies. And then he thinks, oh, okay. Like you guys talk about it. Like you understand where you are. You know what you want to accomplish. People don't realize, like, if you have that type of communication and partnership with someone, then your life is perfect. Like you're doing it.
Right.
You put him on your schedule and a pencil.
He's penciled into the calendar. It's fine. And I mean, again, with that question though, I just feel like it just shouldn't be asked. Cause I mean, I know, and I know so many people that have problems with fertility. And me,
I got nasty with people when they asked that when I was going through it. I was just like, do you know what that means?
Exactly. And for me, it's more of an annoying question. Like, why just because we got married, now all of a sudden we have to pop out children? Like, maybe I don't want that right now. Cool. Good question. Thanks for asking. Come again. But for someone that's struggling with that, I cannot imagine how hurtful that question is. To be like, hey, are you trying for kids? Yeah, been trying for 3 years. Thanks for asking. Bye.
I know.
Like, that's just such a, it's
eliminate
so
the question, people.
Right.
Just ask how life is. Are you happy?
Right.
What's your next? What are you doing next?
Exactly.
That's
just
it.
ban that question. Next.
I'll have a shirt
No,
that says
no
F you.
question.
It's the first time Kelsey will say fuck you to anybody. That'd be a great day. I do love that. I do love that about your guys' relationship. I think seeing you so happy is wonderful. And I was really hyped when I saw that you were coaching because I met you as a cheerleader. So I know the energy you bring to the table, even though I was drunk at most of the games. But I saw the energy. It was there. Oh my gosh. My friend Katie, she's so horrible. But I'm saying, like, I love that
Katie
you're putting
had more
that
energy at the games than I did. She screamed louder.
Even if I was sober or drunk. But I love that you're giving that energy to girls that are in the same spot you are, or ladies or women that are in the same spot you are, because that's so amazing to have. And I wasn't a cheerleader. I could have been on the top of the pyramid.
Probably,
but I love everybody from every walks of life that just love what they do. And you loved it. You wholeheartedly loved it. And as a Bucs cheerleader, I was like, I know a Bucs cheerleader. Don't you think, though, I feel like you are not appreciated as much in the professional field as like football players? And you guys do so much for the community.
We do a lot for the community. And this question has been something that's brought to my attention so many times. Obviously, it's a very controversial topic. I don't even know if I said that word correctly.
You nailed it.
I tried.
Words are hard.
I tried. I know, tongue twister there. But for me, I perform because I love to. And I perform because whether I step out on a stage, whether I step out on a field, or whatever I'm doing, just that energy, that goes throughout your body and the adrenaline rush of performing in front of like 60,000 people is so fun to me. Like, I mean, people have that same adrenaline rush skydiving and they pay someone to let them skydive, right? So I think with cheerleading, like, yes, I do feel there are times when we are underappreciated and, you know, but at the end of the day, we're, at least for me, I'm not doing it for the money or for the prestige or anything of that nature. I'm doing it because I love to perform, to put on a show for people, to make people smile, make people engage, and have fun. That, for me, cheerleading was my outlet outside of work where I could learn something new, have fun, and get paid for doing it. And yes, you know, are our paychecks the same as the football players? No. Absolutely not. Of course they're not. But at the same time, you sign a contract at the beginning of the year that says exactly how much you're getting paid, says what the expectations are. And if you don't agree to it, don't sign the contract.
Yeah.
End of story.
I love that. Yeah, exactly. And good thing is you probably didn't get a concussion or anything while you were cheering.
No, but 5 of my girls got concussions this year.
From falling?
I don't know. They concuss very easily now.
What is that? Do they run into each other?
They concuss
easily.
So easily. We had 5 this year.
Oh my goodness.
And I mean, we did have a very young team. College cheerleading is much different than high school cheerleading. I think there's like a stigma there. But UT is also very, very safe with concussions. So they take the protocol very seriously. So I think that goes in touch with it too. Yeah. Even if it's something very, very minor concussion, they take the protocol as if it was something super, super serious. You know, so we take the safety very precautiously of all of our girls. And
I love that. Your girls.
Yeah.
I love that.
My girls.
And you come from I love this. You have twin sisters that are younger than you and just older than you, and then you have a younger sister, right?
Younger brother.
Brother.
Yep. So my sisters, they're about almost 2 years older than me. They're twins. Both of them have kids. My one sister, my niece, is turning 4 in October. And then my other sister, as I said, just had her daughter about a month ago.
And
so,
are you all very creative? Like, did they do gymnastics like you did? Did they cheer at all? Were you all involved when you were kids?
Yes.
Doing the same stuff? Okay.
Yeah. So we were all involved. My mom put us in dance at a very young age. So we all grew up in like the dance background, doing ballet, tap, jazz, acro. My one sister moved on to cheerleading. My other sister was kind of more so of a tomboy. She stayed in ballet, but really drew her strengths in sports like soccer and different things of that nature. She loved the sports world. My brother kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. Dabble. He did soccer, he did lacrosse, different things of that nature. But I think I was the only one that really took it as more than an extracurricular activity. Yeah. I loved gymnastics. I mean, as a gymnast in high school, my schedule again was crazy. I practiced 6 days a week. For at least 4 hours a day. I would take a bus from my house to my school, and then from school I would take a different bus. They would drop me off at the gym. I would train from 4:30 to 9:30, and then my mom would pick me up. I'd come home. I'd get home probably about 10, do as much homework as I can feasibly get done, go to bed. I mean, there's no time for TV. There's no time for any of.
Do you think that's kind of kept you so focused? I mean, because in college you could have wild out, right?
Oh, for sure.
We were friends. I did a couple things that are in question. But I love that you really rarely drank, like ever. I mean, you go to parties to see everyone.
Right.
But you just kept so focused. And do you think it's because you had such a passion in what you were doing?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, drinking, that was just something that I didn't enjoy. Me personally, for lack of a better word, I guess I'm such a control freak. I don't like knowing the feeling that I'm not in control of my own body. So yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like spending money to have that feeling that I didn't enjoy. So why do it? And I'm have the type of personality that I can be in a room with a bunch of drunk people and not feel awkward about it, and I
you're
just
probably
laugh.
Entertained. Yeah. You're just like, well, okay, you're an idiot.
It's very entertaining. And the best part is you can make up stories the next morning and they have no idea that you're completely making it up, which is great.
I like that. I love that. Okay. So I love to do things like, what do you want the audience to remember about Kelsey?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what to remember about me? Honestly, I think from what I said earlier that, we only live once. So why not try something different, try something new? Don't be afraid to fail. If it's something that you enjoy doing or something that you're interested in doing, whether it is, you're 85 years old and you've always wanted to be a power lifter. Like, who says you can't do that? Go out and go do it, There's just so much to life that I think people get stuck on just the mundane everyday living of this is what you have to do. You have to wake up, put on your suit, go to work, go home, cook dinner, watch some TV, go to bed. But there's so much that you could do, even with kids. There's so much that you could do with your kids as well. So I say, it's never too late to come up with a new dream, never too late to try something new. So why not? Just go out and do it.
And what's your kind of go-to quote when like you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm just not energized like I usually, even though you're always energized. Do you have like a favorite quote?
Ooh, a favorite quote. I don't say I have like a favorite quote. I think a Bible verse that I kind of run back to every now and then. I forget the exact
wording
verse passage it is. But it says something along the lines of, do not fear tomorrow, live for today type.
Love it.
Essence. And I think that comes so true because I did struggle with anxiety a lot back when I was unhappy with my career choice and where I was going in life. And I think just kind of knowing like live for today, do what you can for today. Don't worry about tomorrow. You don't know if it's going to come or not. But the sun will come up the next day and keep moving, keep going forward. Yeah.
So I have the gorgeous Kelsey. Are your handles on social? Your Instagram?
Oh yeah, sure. So my personal Instagram is Kelsey H. Heather. My business page is Neverland Tampa. If you ever want some eyelash extensions, or fellas, if you want to treat your ladies to some eyelash extensions, trust me, they love them.
They do. Addiction. I thank you for joining us today. I love that you added this and penciled me into your schedule. I appreciate this. And again, we're at Not a Great Whisperer Podcast on Instagram and at The Real Krey, Krey. We're at BKN Creative Studios in Ybor. Thanks again. And Morty's Music. End of this. We launch every Monday. Thanks again for coming, and bye to the audience.